Must be the sunshine from the window, 'cause that part of my hair is not white. See? Well, we are live, coming to you live from beautiful downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire. Just a minute. Excuse me, but I know there is a cough button, but it's kind of a hassle to use it. And I can't trust it to unmute me. Let's see. Just a second. Ah, thought I had my hand lotion handy, but I had to get up. Yes, I had a peanut butter jelly sandwich for breakfast. It hit the spot with a glass of milk. Anyway, we are in the San Bernardino Mountain. Well, I am, me and the cats. San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire. We're a group of volunteers, including a couple restaurateurs, got together to put together a Thanksgiving dinner and got some Uber drivers and drivers for other services to agree to deliver to people who depend upon Meals and Wheels and those who depend upon the seniors lunch program, which isn't doing Thanksgiving because, people want to celebrate at home. So tomorrow, Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, several hundred local residents will receive Thanksgiving dinners brought to their door. So big shout out to Tanya Michelle, who owns the Stockade, and Paula, who owns Paula's, as well as the various volunteers who are cook. Let's see, Tanya and Paula are cooking. I don't know a lot of names, but people will be, helping to package the meals and drive them to where they need to go. You can shut people down, but you can't shut down our spirit. Restaurants here on the mountain have an especially difficult situation. As far as I know, outdoor dining is allowed, but nobody's going to sit outside in the snow to eat a meal. Well, maybe people up at the ski resorts, they're already out there bundled up and on skis. Yes, the ski resorts are open with limited capacity. So at this time, they're allowing only those who own season tickets where they get to ski for the whole season. Um, wow, this community has really stepped up. Both small private businesses and charitable organizations got together and donated boxes and bags of food to people all over the mountain. Sorry, I got eye itchies again. Ah, I get them every morning and then they go away, usually. But being shut in and having it too cold to, air the house out as thoroughly as I'd like really hits my eyes and sinuses. Well, anyway, these mountains are really a sort of web of really great communities. We do have a few incorporated cities, but mostly we are just areas of the county that identify as Crestline, Cedar Pines Park, Valley of Enchantment, Twin Peaks, and Lake Arrowhead. Yes, folks, Lake Arrowhead is not a city, but they are a members only community. They have their own water service and their own lake management organization. So they actually vote on issues as if they were a city. Uh, by the way, Twin Peaks is where the detective in my murder mystery lives. It's really Crestline, but Twin Peaks is a cool name. And there was that TV show, the David Lynch thing. And as far as the media are concerned, everything below Lake Arrowhead is Crestline. They can't be expected to know all these little enclaves. Anyway, they cannot kill our spirit. We are having Thanksgiving. We cannot have the community gathering, so people are packing up the food and delivering it to the people who need it, like those who get Meals on Wheels or seniors' lunches. And there have been so many food giveaways that I have to keep telling people, no, I don't need more food. And clothing giveaways, and I have to keep telling them I don't need more clothes. I need to wash the clothes I have. But of course, it's winter. My normal gas bill in the summer is about $20 or less, sometimes as little as 10. My current bill is over 100, and for me that's a lot of money. Next month it'll probably be 200 as it gets colder and we get more snow. At the moment all the snow we got has melted, but it's cold. I think we'll hit a high of about 50 today. Yesterday it got up to 60 something. But all this week it's going to get colder and colder. That's what it does. It's normal. I'm looking more and more at that bookcase that appears to be crooked. Uh, that one. But when I look at the wall, it appears that it's the wall that's crooked because Or maybe the little bookcase is the one that's crooked. The big bookcase lines up pretty well with the wall. Hmm, yeah. I need to put a shim under one of them so they don't look all crooked. I think maybe the house is not uh, plumb there. I think that post the post is inside the wall. You can't really see it from here, but I think that post is not at a right angle to level. It isn't plumb. It's part of an add-on that was done by idiots. Oh, hi there, Philip and Oswald. Good morning. Let's see, I should type something. Uh, have to be in the little chat box. Welcome. Well, I've been less secluded than usual because people seem to think that I'm lonely. It cuts into my writing when I have to socialize. Now, I'm all for conferences and conventions and even radio shows that have some relevance to my work, but that's it. I'm bringing the hand lotion here. If I'm going to want more and more, I'll have it handy. Baby lotion. Now, I used to get Baby Magic, which is made by Menon, but Johnson bought them. Fortunately, Johnson also makes the formula that used to be Baby Magic because Johnson's baby lotion was crap. It was gritty and greasy and yucky. Oswald, high tolerance for solitude. I have a craving for solitude. Ah, lotion. Baby lotion. When I was younger, men would ask me what perfume I was wearing because it smelled so good, and I would tell them, Baby Magic. Yeah, the weather dries my hair out, and I'm naturally dry. I have dry skin and dry hair all the time. But now I'm losing a lot of hair. This might look okay to you, but it's half of the hair I used to have. And see, you can see my scalp where the hair parts. Mm. That's one reason why I wear a hat. The doctor said that if you don't wear a hat, your scalp gets sunburned and you lose hair, and it doesn't always grow back. And I'm losing quite enough hair without that. And yeah, it's a hassle. You can get sweaty under a hat. The wind might blow it off of your head, but it's totally worth it to keep as much hair as I can. Oh, Philip said air, not hair. Yeah, but I put a little pot of water on the stove to simmer with orange peel and cinnamon in it to make it smell nice all over the house. Yeah, I have a hoodie. I don't wear it often. But see, this is it. But I'm not outside, so I don't need it. This is a lioness parka with a lazy L for lioness, and that will go away soon because Lions International says we all have to become lions and not lioness, and we won't have permission to wear our official lioness gear, at least not at Lions functions. It's mostly an international thing where some countries don't even allow women to join. So they want to get rid of lioness. No, nothing was jostled by an earthquake, Philip. The add-on was built by Munchkins. One of my doors is actually a little low for me, and I'm shrinking. I was 5'4", now I'm might be 5'2" if I stretch. My head doesn't hit anything, but I would prefer a taller doorway. The other one isn't much taller. So anyway, um, all is well on the mountain so far, but our restaurants will have a cat hair. Our restaurants will have a very tough time this winter. Ah, yeah, I put out orange peel in the garden because the critters don't like it. It discourages them from digging up grubs and worms in where I've planted lilies or veggies. So I'll put chopped onion. There's always at least the top and bottom of the onion left over, so I'll put those out, and orange peels, and even tomatoes that have gone yucky. They don't eat tomatoes. They might try a bite once, but only once. Yeah, we're supposed to call the cops on people who don't wear a mask or have people visit them. hmm Yeah, we can't eat in a restaurant even if there's just two of us, socially distanced and wearing masks. Nope, that isn't allowed. But California's Governor Newsom can go to the French Laundry restaurant with 12 of his very best friends. Yeah, right. To celebrate his birthday indoors, not wearing masks and certainly not distanced. They're all sitting around at this big long table. And the so called apology that Newsom gave was that it just wasn't a good example. Example, hell, it's a good example of how the rules apply to you and me, but not to him because he's special. He's elite. He has money and power and friends in high places. I think it was New Jersey where their governor did something quite similar. Yeah, many Mostly sheriff's departments in California are like, we're too busy fighting crime. We don't have time for this. Your car got too aggressive? Oh, your cat. Yeah, offer him an orange peel. Um, my cat Tora has to inspect everything I'm eating just in case she might want it. Now, Sweetie, who's still half feral, doesn't want to get that close to me. But you know what? I opened a bag of Cheetos this morning and both cats came running because it sounded like a bag of cat treats. Cats. The more I look at it, the more I think the wall is crooked and that big bookcase is also crooked. Because to my eye, the little bookcase looks fine. So I'll try putting a shim under the big bookcase. I don't remember watching Monty Python with Phil. I've watched it with my son. Ah, Terry Gilliam. Yeah, Brazil was very, very inspired, no doubt, by Phil's work. What is with my throat this morning? Ah, maybe it's all the orange peel and cinnamon in the air. Cat treats for cartoon cheetahs, yeah. Well, I decided not to have potato chips for breakfast, so I opened the Cheetos. The puffs, I don't like the crunchies, they're too hard to chew. There must be a middle ground somewhere. Ah, all right, that's it. Time to drag out the big guns. Inhaler. I have asthma, mild case, but sometimes, depending upon the pollen in the air or the cat hair. Ooh, my computer's sitting on a three-legged desk. In order to replace the leg that fell off, I have to empty it out and turn the desk upside down. I'm lazy. Well, anyway, interview. Yeah, there must be an interview on YouTube, Oswald, and you do have a wrench so you can post links. Yes, I see it. I see the link. All right, now, ah, hooey. Um, I don't really have a topic this morning except for they cannot kill our spirit. Do you know that in Germany, where people do not own weapons, there are huge demonstrations in the streets, primarily against Angela. I'm trying to get that G right. It isn't good, but it is there. Angela Merkel, Angela Merkel, who seems to think that she's the dictator. They've had it. They're sick and tired of the way their country is being run. You won't see that in the media. Have you seen the protest in Huntington Beach, California? I heard it briefly discussed on the radio, but people um, were told they couldn't be out after 10 o'clock at night. So they went out at 9 o'clock and waited and waited. And when 10 o'clock came around, they started their demonstration. We will not comply with the curfew. In Los Angeles County, I believe, definitely the city. Yeah, it's the whole county. People are not allowed out for any non essential activity between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. because apparently that's when the virus is most active, between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. We are getting ridiculous restrictions. We're being trained. That's what it is. We're lab rats. Ooh, there's a virus. Let's shut it down. People hate it, but they comply because there is a virus. Oh, things are getting worse. We better make it stricter restrictions. And even those who are skeptical, for the most part, will comply because it's no big deal. Okay, we wear a mask and we can't eat inside a restaurant. Or we can, but, well, yeah, it's getting a little better. You can eat inside, but only if you're 6 feet apart. And we relax a little, and then, oh my God, it's getting worse. Nobody can eat inside. You'll just have to do takeout. And then, oh, if the restaurant complies with this, that, and the other thing, you can eat outside, socially distanced. Oh, phew, it's better. Oh, the virus is worse. You have to wear a mask while you're at the restaurant. You take it off to take a bite and then you put it right back on. And we're like, are you kidding? Well, we'll call the police and have you arrested if you don't wear a mask while you're trying to eat your dinner. It's ridiculous. Most of us have enough sense to take precautions and not go out with 100 strangers and shout and scream and, you know, all that stuff. But you see, protests are essential. So it's okay for a crowd to go out into the street without masks, shoulder to shoulder, because protests are essential. But you can't have grandma over for Thanksgiving dinner. That isn't essential. And your neighbors are supposed to call the police if you do have grandma over for Thanksgiving dinner. Well, I'm not against wearing a mask. It's a small thing and it might help. But we're in month 9 of the 14-day lockdown to flatten the curve so the hospitals don't get overwhelmed. Yes, many people have died. Where did most of them die? On cruise ships, in prisons, and in convalescent homes for the old and infirm. Remember when there were cruise ships that couldn't dock because no country would allow them into the port? Yeah, Philip, it's really physical distancing. There's nothing social about distancing. There are people who need to socialize. I'm not one of them. I consider it a chore. Phew, I'm blowing smoke, but I'm not just blowing smoke. Now, when I'm with Philip K. Dick fans, for example, I'm on. It isn't a chore, it's a joy. But day to day interactions with friends and family are like, I'm out of my element here. I don't understand small talk. I'm not interested in makeup, laundry detergent, or even football games. Don't hit me. I kind of like baseball, not into football or even basketball so much, although it's better than football. Not as many people get killed playing basketball. Um, Thing is, I don't even know who's on the Dodgers except Oral Hershiser. Well, he's a pitcher. I can't quite avoid hearing his name, but I don't seek out news about sports and I don't seek out advice on hair, makeup. Well, hair I might start. I'd like to know how to put my hair up. I have no clue. But I don't want to hear about it in daily chatter. Oh, I got this new stuff that blah, 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 my hair, my nails, my makeup. I don't care. And to me, laundry is, does it get the clothes clean or doesn't it? Okay, that isn't just smoke on my showing on my screen. It's just hazy. Yep, it's overcast out there. Well, anyway, I don't care. Oh, I was once labeled as borderline autistic, but that was more a behavioral thing, a learned behavior from mom, the devil's sister. I've had to learn to interpret what people because turns out I was wrong. They said what they meant and they meant what they said. I had to figure, well, actually, I asked my sister in law several times, what did I do wrong in this conversation? Because I didn't expect to get attacked for that remark. And she could explain to me where it went wrong. Well, that's got to be cigarette smoke. I don't see it in the air, but I see it on my computer screen. Do you guys see a foggy screen, or is my computer messing me up? There's some smoke in the air, but The light is just like that. Let me try something. Huh? No better. I don't know. Must be the light. I turned off the ceiling light and it made no difference. Okay. Oh, Anthony Hopkins, Asperger's. Well, that kind of makes sense to me. You give me a script and I can put it across to the audience. I get their attention and I do it well. It looks foggy, huh? Hmm. Well, foggy outside. It's a little overcast. How weird. Maybe my camera is dirty. This is interesting. Let's get a little bit of napkin. I should get rubbing alcohol, but I'll just try a little water. No, not really. Nope, no better. I don't know. 'Tis a puzzlement. Whatever. It's the lighting, I guess. Let's try this one. Turn off that lamp. Nah, no improvement. One more strategy. There's a light back there. I think I see some improvement with the floor lamp on. Okay, it's the lighting and not my cigarette smoke. Come on, I put you out. Quit smoking. Okay. Lovecraft. No, I wasn't reading Lovecraft. I find his stories intriguing, but I don't know. The pacing is frustrating. It's slow, too slow. When I have a slow scene, I try to punctuate it with things that kind of rise up above. Graham Harmon, object oriented ontology. Okay, never heard of that. I'll have to look into it, Oswald. Find that the chat is a little bit ahead of the video, so you won't hear me respond to your post right away because there's a delay in the video. I've never figured out why. Anyway, keep up your spirits. Don't let this get you down. And where you can, without inciting violence, fight back. Even if it's speaking up. Say something like, "This is ridiculous." And if it is not a conspiracy to drive small businesses out of business, it sure is working toward that goal, whether intentional or not. Walmart's doing fine. Amazon's doing fine. Costco, Sam's Club, Best Buy, Smart and Final, grocery stores. Even our local family owned grocery store is doing very well. So well, in fact, that they donated most of the food for our community Thanksgiving, as they always do. A Field Guide to Earthlings by Ian Slater. Hmm. Well, when I was in college and I studied public relations, I learned a few things. But learning from a book and putting it into practice are two different animals. I have calmed down over the years, and I've cut people out of my life when I was certain that they were toxic. I just don't respond to them anymore. You know that person who pushes all your buttons and gets you all riled up and then laughs at you like you have a problem, tells everyone how awful you are when they knew very well that they were pushing your buttons? Or the one who shouts you down and then says, "Well, I'm not going to listen to you because you're yelling at me." That kind of thing. Canada and UK are helping small businesses. There is some help from our governments, but it's like help with the money to put up plexiglass and retrain employees and pay wages. It doesn't bring in customers. It doesn't really help the cash flow. It just helps them to comply with the regulations. And now they're shut down anyway after all that investment. And most of the government aid has been loans that they have to pay back. We are getting help from just plain local people who will go out of their way to get takeout from a restaurant when they could very well cook at home, or to buy something from a small shop and not go to the big box store. And they'll pay a couple bucks extra or even say, "Keep the change." Okay, Canada is on live at the same time as I'm on? Oh, I see. Canada and UK, they're in the same time zones? That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I'm 8 hours from London time, so New York is 5 hours from London time, 5 hours behind. Another thing I've had to learn about people is that sometimes they are not having a conversation with you. They're just talking, and all you're required to do is nod once in a while or say, "uh huh," or "yes," or "okay," or "no." Huh. Well, I guess either Canada is on at 2 in the morning or Let's say Canada's on at 5 in the morning, or UK is on at 10 p.m. It's possible. We used to have this thing called the 11 o'clock news. The networks would run the news at 5 or 6, thereabouts, in the evening. And then they'd run pretty much the same news again at 10 or 11 p.m., right before Johnny Carson. You might be too young to remember him. He was the longest running host of The Tonight Show. I think the first one was Jack Parr, and I think, what's his name hosted for a while? What was his name? The guy with the glasses. Ah, oh well, not important. No, not Larry King. All right, I'll find out. And not Jay Leno either. And not Conan O'Brien. Steve Allen. Come on, evil Google. Okay. These are. Here we go. Come on. All right, it won't do that. So I'll just post a link to a million images of Steve Allen. Come on. Oh, the link is too big for a YouTube chat. That figures. Um, Here we go. Here's a link to a decent portrait of Steve Allen. There you go. For a while, Steve Allen had his own talk show. My water's empty. Let's fix that. Oh, Jesus. One little misstep and almost bought the farm. I didn't quite get my foot around the chair and almost tripped on it. Anyway, is my age showing? I remember Steve Allen. I vaguely remember Jack Parr. And I'm pretty sure he was the first host, but it might have been Steve Allen first. Anyway, those were the first two hosts. Mm, that's better. The cats are awfully quiet. They must be scheming how to take over the world and eat all the cat treats. I really am working on a book when I have the solitude necessary for doing so. Well, it's time to clean the keyboard. It has cookie crumbs. Uh, well, I couldn't resist the snickerdoodles at the grocery store. They make them there, so they're very fresh. But I did manage to walk past the apple pies without buying one. Anyway, I have plenty of food. The thing is, when I cook, I have more failures than successes. Now, my orange chicken was wonderful, except when I went to make sauce and heat up the leftover chicken bites the next day, that's when I fell and broke my hip. Not good. I actually used fresh garlic in the sauce, along with orange zest and freshly squeezed orange juice and all the stuff that goes into it. The sauce was awesome, but um, I have a negative association with it at the moment. Uh, I even learned the trick to making the tempura batter puffy and light. You add a little baking soda to the flour. Will Rogers on the radio? I don't think so. I've, of course, listened to Will Rogers on YouTube, but I don't think he was alive when I was born. Let's see, Will Rogers. He was a Cherokee, by the way. He died in 1935. I'm not that old. Oh dear. They say he's buried in two places: the Will Rogers Memorial Museum in Claremore, Oklahoma, and in Forest Lawn, California. Famous quote is, "I never met a man I didn't like." Then they have, "Never let yesterday use up too much of today." And even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. I like what Yogi used to say. He was a baseball guy. It ain't over till it's over. And oh, I can't remember the other one. And the other one was better. Anyway, in opera, it isn't over till the fat lady sings. Well, Yogi Berra said it ain't over till it's over. Oh, of course, I heard about Will Rogers, and there were clips of him on television from time to time, even before the internet existed. But no, I'm not that old. Mom was born in 1930. Dad was born in 1928. So no, I was not around in 35 when Will Rogers died. I think he died in a plane crash. I shouldn't have closed that tab. Will Rogers. Let's see. He wasn't young anyway. Um. Okay. Cause of death. Yeah, he died in a plane crash in Alaska. 35 and 21. He was 56 years old. So he wasn't that old, but he wasn't super young like John Denver. Oh, Oswald listens to Giza Death Star Community and Dark Journalist. He brought up Klaus Schwab. Not Carl Schwab, the investment guy, although I suspect that they might be related, but Klaus Schwab. Evil incarnate, according to Joseph P. Farrell. Could be. Could be. And you guys ought to listen to Walter Bosley. I'll type his name in. I've actually met Walter in person a few times. He's a friend of Dr. Farrell and of Farrell's sometime co-author. His name escapes me right now. And they all know Andy Colvin, Andy Mothman Colvin, a publisher who's focused mainly on the Mothman. He has some books about Mothman. Oh dear. Oswald, please tell Philip who Klaus Schwab is. I don't remember. He ain't Santa Claus. Anyway, Walter has been looking into things like the disappearance of, I had the name a minute ago. Oh dear. Brain not working. It's on the tip of my brain. Journalist who disappeared in Mexico. Long time ago. Ambrose Bierce. I didn't get it from Google. Google didn't know what I was talking about. Ambrose Bierce. He's looked into the esoteric Napoleon. And those of us who have paid attention over the years do realize that Napoleon was not, oh, of course, he was human and not perfect. He was not the tyrant and monster that the English made him out to be. He was simply bucking the tide of British imperialism. They couldn't have that. Ah, Krampus. I still remember back when I was trying to give Coast to Coast a chance under George Norrie. An author was on talking about his book about Krampus. the evil Santa Claus of European folklore who would punish bad children. And Nori kept pushing the guy, well, what kind of punishments? And the guy tried to tread lightly. Well, he might, beat them with a switch or toss a bag. And I forget where the line was crossed, but Nori was pushing him over the line. And Nori hung up on him and said, "Oh, children listen to this show. We can't have that sort of thing on." And then a few weeks later, he had some expert on Krampus on the show and let him talk about everything that Krampus would do to bad children. Hi, Cecilia. I met Cecilia through Freedomizer Radio. I'm not on Freedomizer anymore for a number of reasons. One of the big ones is I cannot deal with Blog Talk Radio anymore. For one thing, I couldn't get into the chat room at Blog Talk. For another, there were times when I couldn't even do my show because their website was down, and the owner of Freedomizer would not switch to a different platform. Well, thank you, Cecilia. Let's see. Cecilia is wonderful and talented. I can't really. Oh, Oswald, he's quoting that song. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. Yeah. Well, Cecilia is a wonderful lady. Anyway, I've been on for over an hour and I've said basically nothing. I just think that everyone needs an uplift right now, and shutting everything down for Thanksgiving and Christmas is not uplifting. But remember, happiness is what you choose. Put on a smile and be happy. Sing. If you are worried about other people, sing in the shower. That's what I do. Sing, pray, laugh. Find the joy in your life, wherever it might be. You don't have to let the bozos get you down. You really don't. Now, many artists have found this a time when they can focus on their work without distraction, but some people thrive on distraction. I don't know, read a book. If you have a yard, go outside in your yard and communicate with whatever bit of nature you can access. You can go out even if the restaurants and shops are closed. You can walk down the street. I guess you better wear a mask. Live, laugh, love bumper sticker. Keeping your spirits up is your job. The government can't do it for you, but they sure seem to be trying to depress your spirits, to push everyone into this gloomy, dark world of depression and lost hope. Don't let them win. Wow, ran out of things to say. You know the old thing when life gives you lemons, make lemonade? And some smart aleck always comes back with, but I don't like lemonade. Well, pick up that lemon and use it as a baseball. Paint a target on your fence and see how many times you can hit the bullseye before the lemon bursts and falls apart. You can take action of some sort for yourself. I like that, Oswald. When life gives you lemons squirted in their eyes. I happen to like lemons, especially Meyer lemons. But apparently that's weird. But at a restaurant, back when we could eat at a restaurant, when the server brought lemon slices for like iced tea or something, we'd fight over them, me and my brother. And other people at the table would roll their eyes like, "Ooh, you guys are weird." But I've been known to eat lemons the way other people eat oranges. However, if the lemon is not ripe, it's too bitter. I like the sour, and it's sour. Cecilia made cookies. Awesome. What flavor? What flavor are they? Non-dairy holiday cookies. Don't know what to call them. Humph. Of course, the day I didn't have a set topic, the connection was 100% stable. I guess my title about eating peanut butter and jelly for breakfast was innocuous enough that YouTube didn't see any point in censoring me. The world is shutting down, the world is falling apart. Earlier this year, the demonstrations were all over the news. Headlines. Now that people are demonstrating against the lockdown, not even a whisper. Vanilla coconut sugar, cinnamon applesauce, and oats, and mixed nut butter. Wow, I want some, Cecilia. Sounds delicious. Um, uh, vanilla coconut sugar, cinnamon apples. Wow. Nutty apple cookies? By the way, I'm drinking cow's milk. I grew up drinking it and I love it. And now that I'm the mommy, I don't have to mix it half and half with powdered milk to stretch the budget. It's just me here, and if I can get through a half gallon of milk before it goes bad, I'm doing very well. Oh, I want some of Cecilia's cookies. I do have those snickerdoodles from the local grocery store made in their own bakery, but Cecilia's cookies sound delicious. Mm. Of course, YouTube probably did play with the image earlier. It was all foggy and weird looking. It's getting better. Might be that the sun's a little higher in the sky. I'm going to try more cooking. I've been watching cooking shows again. Now, I like Jacques Pepin, but I don't think I'd like his food. It's always got all these peppers in it, and I just tolerate medium salsa in a pot of tomatoes. Ooh, pumpkin ginger. Everything's pumpkin right now, so I'm kind of tired of pumpkins. I'm going to try uh, since I seem to have a lifetime supply of chicken in my freezer, I'm going to try maybe sesame chicken or cashew chicken, something Mandarin or Cantonese. Jacques Pepin, apparently his mother must have been Italian. He makes a lot of spaghetti, but yeah, he's French. Learned to cook in France. And he's just adorable. And he always has to have either a glass of wine or a cocktail before he starts cooking. He doesn't finish it before he starts cooking. Yeah, you got the spelling right, Philip. Uh, almost. There, here we go. I don't know why IN is an, but it is. And it doesn't have to make sense, it's French. Well, see you later, Oswald. I gotta go soon myself. I haven't actually finished my peanut butter sandwich, and I have an orange waiting to be eaten. It's actually a tangerine, but I didn't want to I didn't want to explain that it was tangerine peel in the pot and not orange peel. They smell the same. Well, I don't know about reincarnation, but my most recently published story was about an epidemic that was killing everybody, and I wrote it before COVID started. Well, hello, Sandra, you're late. I tried studying French. I took one semester at the community college, and I even had a tutor, and I couldn't remember how to say cheese or fish. I was really having trouble with French, but I did well in German and Spanish. Ah, I think I better learn to cook because the things I like the most are generally too expensive for my budget. But peanut butter and jelly fits in my budget very well. Go figure. I like that too. Oh, after months and months of eating potato chips for breakfast and washing them down with coffee, I thought I should make some changes. Yesterday I had chicken soup with my potato chips. Today I ate a couple Cheetos and decided that wasn't really filling, so I made a sandwich. Peanut butter and jelly is always good. Oh, Philip, yes, I studied Latin for about a year in high school, and I studied Koine Greek, but uh, Greek really is difficult. Modern Greek sounds like Spanish to me. I can understand a great deal of it, but the Greek of Plato and the New Testament, 2,000-year-old Greek, that's a different animal. And it's difficult. My fog is all gone. Good. Yeah, I think the sun is poking through. That always helps. It looks better outside, too. Anyway, I had Spanish first. Well, in second grade, the teacher taught us to say good morning in French. Bonjour. In third grade, the teacher taught us to say good morning in Spanish. Well, good day, really. Buenos dias. And taught us to count to 10. And we learned a few more phrases in Spanish. But I really studied Spanish in seventh and eighth grades. Plus, growing up in Southern California, you really need to learn Spanish, at least the food. Taco, tortilla, burrito. I have trouble trilling the R, the R. Maybe modern Greek was influenced by Latin. I don't know. I think all the European languages are learning from each other the way the English language adopted words from all over the world. We have six words for the same thing because one is French and one is English and one is Russian and one is Japanese and so forth. I prefer to use the words that the most people understand rather than showing off with these big $5 words with six syllables. But that's just me. When I studied, oh yes, Guten Morgen, but you spelled it wrong. It's a noun, so it's capitalized. Oh, I thought you spelled it with an A. Sorry about that. You did spell it right. Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't know how to pronounce that, Sandra. Ni hao? Maybe. Maybe ni hao. I love to sing, but I doubt that. Let's see. Um, I really don't think I should sing in public, although I'm okay with karaoke. Um, the Chinese language is more like singing than speaking. Ni hao. Okay. Thank you, Sandra and Philip. Chinese, the same word can have very different meanings depending upon how your voice rises and falls. And that's quite difficult for Americans to first understand and then learn. So, it's, it's, I love languages. Learning other languages really does help you with your own language. And it enables you to communicate with more people. I do run into German tourists from time to time, and of course, people who speak Spanish. Solicitors. Wow, Sandra. When I actually have had calls in which, and text messages that were in probably Chinese. I don't think it was Japanese. Japanese, I can understand a few words like arigato, and I can count to 10. Ichi, san, chi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, ku, ju. But Chinese, I'm really lost unless it's food like kung pao chicken. I do get a newsletter that's in the French language, an email newsletter. It's about saving the bees from pesticides. And I can make out a few words, but the great thing about Gmail is that Google will translate it for me. Well, I learned to count in Japanese when my son was learning karate because he would do push ups and count in Japanese. But anyway, I do love languages. I love regional accents. People in different parts of the United States have different accents, and then people in Canada don't all sound the same, but their vowels are richer. Phil used to say that instead of about, they said a boot, but it isn't quite that. It's about a boat. I can't quite do it. I'm thinking too hard. About boot. Anyway, boat. In England, there are different accents in different places, and I have trouble distinguishing a Northern England accent from a Cockney accent. They're quite similar, especially from someone who's been in the United States a long time, so their accent isn't as strong as it was when they actually lived in England. And besides, I learned most of the accents from Midsummer Murders, so they were probably actors who spoke London upper class or at least middle class English and were imitating the accent. And of course, in My Fair Lady or Pygmalion, the original, Eliza Doolittle's actress is always exaggerating the Cockney accent. Ah, es geht mir gut, Sandra. It's a boat. They pronounce both vowels in Canada. A boot. And to Phil, it sounded like boot, and some of them do say a boot. People, though, from British Columbia sound different from people who are in Quebec, where most of them speak French, or even Ontario or Newfoundland. I love how that's spelled new found land, but it's Newfoundland. Scotia, New Scotland. Sherlock and Luther. Oh, that's two shows. I've seen all of Sherlock and I hated the final season. Luther, I'm not sure. I'm busy watching New Tricks. It's on Amazon Prime, which I get at half price. Uh, all you have to do is ask and tell them you just can't afford to pay full price, and that they're very good about giving you a discount. Yeah, I can't name the different regions by accents, Sandra. Can't do it. But New Tricks is about retired British detectives who are brought back as sort of civilian investigators to help close cold cases. My water's empty again, and I was going to hang up a half an hour ago, but I'll just go get some more water and I'll be back. Ah, stiff and achy. Ah. Mm, that's better. Okay, I still have butter sandwich to finish. Wa- Light There, here we go. And it's actually a tangerine. They're called mandarins. They aren't cuties or those wannabe tangerines. But it isn't quite exactly like what I call a tangerine either. Mandarin oranges. I'm fascinated by food, and I wish I could cook better because I sure do know how to eat. I still can't find any chicken livers at the grocery store. I don't know what they do with them. Surely people aren't buying up all the chicken livers. That happens in the summer because fishermen use them for bait. This is winter. Oh, Boston. When I hear, anyway, yeah. Oh, now my connection is unstable. I guess YouTube doesn't want me to blather on for this long. Anyway, I really do need to get going and do something useful today. The cats want to go out, but I think it's too cold to let that blast of Arctic air come inside, unless I need to go out. Just saying. The cats don't have thumbs. Yeah, they go to Harvard in Boston, not Harvard. They ought to just go to Yale because they can pronounce that. Anyway, thank you all for, come on, for listening. Gotta go. OTTA. It's amazing what typos you come up with when your hands are just one key off from the position where they belong. Wow. I wanted to go to Stanford University, but I'm glad I didn't go. I had the privilege of attending Chapman College before they sold out and became a university. It was focused on teaching. So, anyway, check out New Tricks if you get the chance. And save some of those cookies for me. See ya.